Okay, so originally I was going to do a tarot reading about if Yunjin from Le Sserafim was dating anyone because love that girl. And then the cards started to take us on a whole different direction and started giving tea about her and Yeonjun from TXT. If you don't know, there were rumors about a year ago that she and Yeonjun dated. Of course, I'm just a tarot reader and everything I say in this video is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And with peace and love, let's go! Need to walk away from something? The strength, heartbreak, or like getting over a heartbreak. Ooh, walking away from something, strength, heartbreak. Oh, I don't know yet, but it seems like she was almost like urged to leave the relationship. Let's find out. I don't know. This is pettiness, or like pettiness turning into like more like serious or like grounded. This is a need for rest and relaxation, or almost like a break. And the Ace of Swords in the reverse position is like the delaying or putting off of something new, especially when it comes to communication. Oh. I don't want to say what I think this is. You know why? Because I'm fighting myself. Because my intuition is telling me, like, yeah, like, that is it. Like, fool. Moving away from something. World, completion, the Queen of Wands. I don't know what Yunjin... Okay. I don't know if this is TXT's Yeonjun. I don't know if this is about him or not. I think it is. But it's almost like, from the beginning, these cards. Walking away from something, the strength, getting over a heartbreak. Which to me is literally that, like walking away from something, which would be the relationship and getting over the heartbreak. And then you have this, which is like pettiness turning into, or sometimes it can be like playfulness or like childishness, moving towards like more like realistic groundedness. This is like a period of like rest into like action, and this is like your words and like stopping what you're going to say, and it can also be stopping of communication. And this is also like transit. To me, it was almost like she was dating somebody. I'm gonna ask for clarification if it's Yeonjun or some other person, who knows. But it seems like she's not in a relationship right now. It seems like whoever she was with, somebody like intervened or somebody really urged her to get out of that relationship. Not because it was like bad for her, but it was just sort of like it's getting in the way of like you being an idol. What I'm trying to say is I feel like her company stepped in, or somebody stepped in and was like, this isn't gonna happen. I don't know if this person and her were officially dating, or they were just like dating but they didn't put a label on it, or if it was just like heavy like flirting and like playfulness. But that's what it feels like, because this is like the moving away from something. The world is like a completion, which would be like it ended, and the queen, so it's like no longer happening. And the Queen of Wands, I don't know what her energy is, but I could see Yunjin being the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands usually are like not usually, but like can be people who are in the spotlight, celebrity, fiery, passionate, and those are things I would say Yunjin is. Huge. Let's see. The Lovers in the reverse position. Ooh. The Knight of Swords in the reverse position is like delaying and racing towards. Oh my god. Literally. Yeah, they dated. Ooh. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. She dated somebody who was a celebrity. I'll say that, which I think is Yeonjun. And a lot of these are like, it just, because what I keep seeing in my mind's eye is Hybe, like the building, which I think talks about Hybe, the company. And I keep seeing them almost like grabbing Yeonjun away from somebody. Like, here we go. But the Lovers can talk about romance, can also talk about a choice. In this case, though, it's in the reverse position, which would be like the separation of two people. And that's what it feels like. It feels like they're... And I keep seeing like glimpses of Yeonjun. Yeonjun? TXT. I keep seeing glimpses of Yeonjun in my like... Yunjin and Yeonjun. In my head, of them being like taken from each other. That sounds bad, but like... and this is like the internet, and I think the internet found out that they were dating, or like there were like clues or something about them dating, like someone found a playlist. Me acting like I don't know. I love. The Knight of Swords, though, is like because the Lovers in the reverse position is like a separation of the Lovers. The Knight of Swords is like, the Knight's a really fast-moving card. In the reverse position, that would be the delay of it. Almost like if fans were like coming up and it was like a white knight sort of a thing, and it's sort of like people coming to their defense, or coming to be like, no, but I love them, they're my favorite, or something along those lines. Ace of Swords, King of Cups. Yeah, like, oh, I don't know how long they were together for. I don't think they told really anybody. I think they just like, it was such like a natural progression. Like they saw each other like around the building a lot, and they talked to each other, and they really liked each other's. I think what they both really appreciated about each other, it was visually they liked each other, but also they liked how passionate they both were about music. I think they're both like really big music connoisseurs. Like they like weird sounding stuff, and they like, you know, like producing music and making music. And so I think they admired that about each other, and they became friends, and then they just became closer, and then it became sort of like they're dating without necessarily putting a label on it. And then like the company was like, literally, like this cannot happen. But the Ace of Swords in the reverse position is like the stopping of like that energy, or the stopping of that delay. The King of Cups in the reverse position would be like, sometimes it can be like a powerful person getting in the middle of it. And this is sort of like, I think the relationship was both fun because they were sneaking around almost. But like, I don't know, I don't want that to sound like in a negative way. But this is like the releasing of that burden almost. They're sort of like, okay. This is also, at the very beginning, we got like the releasing of a heartbreak. So I get the impression that, I don't know how like bummed out they are that they aren't together. I feel like in the beginning it was like a really big bummer. Also because it's like your company is almost like intervening in like what you're doing in your private life. I think the company just didn't want them together because they're both too close with like the IP of like Hybe, if that makes sense. Even though they're like under different companies, they're under like the conglomerate of Hybe. But also like they like worked too closely together. Like they passed each other in the hallway a lot. They both, but like the energy, this seems like older. Like they haven't been together for a while. Like once it was like starting to be figured out by fans, the company like stepped in. When I energetically like sit in this, it's sort of like there's like space between the two of them, and there's almost like relief. Not like they didn't like each other, or like either of them were a burden to one another, but it just was like kind of a lot with maybe their schedules. But it was something where it was sort of like they just kind of got pushed in that direction. It's like, you like what I like, you have the same job I like I like your personality, like I like you too. But it's not necessarily like a strong sadness that they can't be together, because I think they still see each other and they're still like friendly, if that makes sense. Like they can still like hear about like what each other are working on. I feel like they would be a pretty good match, but they also seem rather similar to each other. Like they would be good as friends as well, and I think they talk sometimes. But the Hanged Man is a need for new perspective. This is the, like, in a reverse position that can, what does that mean? This can, in the upright position, the Nine of Cups can be like, almost kind of like mastering your emotions. In the reverse position, I guess it could be like loosey-goosey with your emotions. But this is like not knowing where to go next. Oh, and this is the need for a new perspective. One of them's hung up on it. I don't think it's Yunjin. Immediately, everyone's like, who are you talking about? I don't think it's Seraphim Yunjin. Wheel of Fortune, bad luck. Sometimes this can be like anxiety in the Empress. Oh, I think he took it harder than she did about their because it wasn't even a breakup. It was just sort of like the company was like, you guys, this can't happen. And they like, in my mind's eye, I keep just seeing them being like pulled apart from each other. It's just like, nope. Almost like someone grabs his arm, someone grabs her arm, and they like yank them into different rooms. But it seems like he was kind of bummed out about it. I think he wanted to see where it was going to go. I think they both really like her. I think they both really like each other. I think he really liked her and wanted to pursue her romantically. And she was sort of like, yeah, he's cool and he's here, but she was also like, I can just like focus on like my work and my music. I think Yunjin the Seraphim takes her work incredibly seriously. Not that Yeonjun TXT doesn't, but I think he is, what's the word? He's like also interested in like having like a personal life, and I think just like having fun. He takes his work very seriously, but he also like wants to have fun. And Yeonjun, it seems like she really likes her work, and she's really like dedicated to being the best and like music, because music is a really big part of her personal life. So the Empress is like taking care of yourself, and to him it seems sort of like anguish almost. I don't know if he's still stuck there, but he was sort of like, dang, like I really wanted to see where this was going to go, and I can't. This seems like the company. This is the separation of the two, and the High Priestess. I feel like someone ratted on them low key. I think part of it was like brought forth. Oh, this is maybe the fans. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like a company can enforce like two people can't date, like coworkers can't date each other. They're kind of coworkers, but the High Priestess is like, you have two, and then the High Priestess is two, which is like your physical self and like your higher or spiritual self. And this is like sometimes it can be like threats though, like lies, deceits, deception, stealing, nefarious activity, and like a lack of a happily ever after, a burden, taking care of something. The Seraphim Yunjin seems like she I don't know, like she's just making music, taking care of herself. She doesn't seem like she's in a relationship. Yeonjun, I don't think is also in a relationship, but I think he took their separation a little bit harder. He just, to me, his energy is like, I really wanted to see where this was going to go. And like, I'm bummed that I can't. That's actually very sweet. Focusing on work, collaboration, control, focusing on what went wrong. Yeah, Yeonjun TXT seems really, I don't know, I think he was very frustrated by that decision. I think he felt like it was unfair. He was like, you're literally my boss. Like, you're not my parent. You're not my dad. Le Seraphim Yunjin was just sort of like, yeah, I'll go back to what I was doing. Like, whatever. I think this changed TXT Yeonjun, though. I feel like he trusts his... I think he became almost kind of, like, disillusioned by, like, being a K-pop idol for a while, and he was like, I really can't have, like, a personal life, can I? And I think that changed his work ethic for a little bit. I don't know if this is like up to date because this energy seems kind of stagnant and old. It did change him though. Like now, I think he still like is trying very hard to be an idol and like do things. I don't want to say that. Okay. I feel like Yeonjun. I don't follow TXT like super closely, although I do like a lot of their songs. I feel like that was part of the reason why he was one of the first ones to get like a true like solo. He just released a solo, and I think that was kind of the company bargaining with him. And I that's why I gasped, because I was like, that can't be. But that's what my intuition is saying. Like I got like a picture in my mind, and that's kind of like how like tarot works. So I feel like they were sort of like, here, we'll like give you a solo. Like we'll give you like some benefits because of this. I feel like their separation happened like less than a year ago, but like around there. Like they've been away from each other for a while. They still talk though. Like if they see each other in the hallway, they're like, hey, hi. I don't think it's particularly awkward, mostly because it was the company's doing, and it wasn't like they didn't have a strong say of like, but I want to be with him or something like that. It just seems like on her part, she's focused on business, on being the best. On Yeonjun's part, he's like bitter, but he like understands, but he's also just like, but I like what. Like, when I see him, I just see him sort of like just like almost like his hands are out and he's like shaking his head like, what? But like he understands it at the same time. He's like, I get it, I guess. But he's also a little bit bitter that they got found out, I think. Because I think they did have like a good time together. Like I don't know, they seemed like they're well paired personality-wise and interest-wise. Any other information? I don't know if we'll ever get back together. Not because of them, but just like, I think it was a little bit like, okay, that happened. No. The Knight of Wands to me is like establishment. The Sun though can be like, the Sun card can be a yes card, but this is also, I think these two cards are no cards in the way you interpret it, which is sort of like, I think they could be together, but not if they're both still idols under Hybe. Like if Hybe crumbled and both groups disbanded, they for sure could like get together. I think they'd have a nice time together. That doesn't seem super likely. I feel like they would be well matched for each other. Would they be each other's soulmate? I don't know. But they seem like they would have a good relationship as long as they would be in a relationship, if that makes sense. I don't think it's going to happen, though. They're both just, like, in two major idol groups. Super busy people. Their company is not about it. Hybe seems like a company that does not play. It's kind of a bummer.